Hi everyone, I'm Angus from JournoLink. JournoLink is a PR platform which helps small businesses get exposure with the press. Um, I've been with JournoLink for about 4 years, and I do a lot of the AI development and AI scoping out and building. Previously, I've been working with businesses for about 18 years on the lines of innovation, strategy, and growth. So really excited to present today's webinar and help your business to grow and shape using AI. So what I want to present today is 5 ways to use AI to gain publicity. And in an AI first world, AI is becoming such an important feature, and it's one that's such a prominent one, an easily accessible one that can help businesses to gain publicity better than ever before. So today I want to talk through a few key points and some actionable things that you can take away, start putting in place today, and start gaining publicity by using some AI capabilities. So, firstly, a little bit about JournoLink. JournoLink's a PR platform. It's been built for small businesses, and it helps businesses to take your stories to the press, to communicate with journalists, and to gain exposure and access to large audiences. Um, the functionality of JournoLink includes things like press release writing, distribution, opportunities from journalists, press room, and we've got quite a bit of AI functionality, which I'm going to touch on throughout this webinar. Um, so, in terms of the problem with doing PR, a lot of businesses don't do PR. A lot of businesses are going to focus mostly on marketing, social media, things like that. One of the issues with doing that is standard and traditional marketing channels are becoming less trusted over time. There's a lot more noise, a lot more clutter. Um, and so it's becoming more and more important for businesses to not just get their voice out there, but get their voice out in a way that is trusted, in a way that establishes trust, establishes engagement with their audience. Some of the things that hold businesses back are limited time to dedicate to doing PR. It's quite a tricky subject to learn. So having the time, the resource to commit to learning PR, doing PR, or even having the budget to outsource and hire an agency or a freelancer, it can be quite daunting and it puts a lot of people off. And what we've been doing at JournoLink is using AI to remove these barriers so that you yourself can spend, let's say, an hour a month and get some really good strategic, structured PR done for you. So today I'm going to talk through a framework, and this is kind of 5 actionable steps that you can do from right now to start getting publicity. So firstly, we're going to look at insight, where to get story ideas and look at trends and opportunities. The next part of it is the story itself, what you're saying, how you're saying it, and how it's being written. Once you've got your story, it's then the reach. Who's that going to go out to? Who are you sending it to? Who's your audience? Analysis, looking at the performance of it, understanding the engagement, and really just understanding where you can make improvements in the future. And that leads into number 5, which is improving it. So looking at analytics and how to optimize and improve your approach each time. So starting at point 1, insight. So it's important that you're able to identify a story that matters to journalists and your audience. Um, if you start going out to the press with a sales pitch, nobody's going to be that interested in it. It's not going to be something that people are going to want to read about. People aren't hugely fussy that you've launched a new product or that you've taken on some new staff. So what's important is to tie it in with things. So looking at um, trends, looking at what's happening in other news, relevant events, and things like that. So, in the simplest form, AI can be used to help you to discover trends and events that are going on in your sector that you can tie into in order to share your story. With JournoLink, one of our core AI capabilities is that we use our AI engine called Volt to analyze your business and sector and marketplace and everything going on. And what it will do once a month is send you a curated um, set of suggestions about things you can be writing about this month. So it'll provide you with five press release suggestions a month, and they're all tied into existing news, trends, events, things like that. So this is all about how you get ideas, what you're going to write your story about. So as I say, there's two ways to do it. You can use something like ChatGPT, or you can use JournoLink where it's built in, it's done thoroughly, and it's fully trained on your business. So now that you've got the idea behind what you're going to write, now that you've started looking into what's happening and what's going on, uh, the next step is going to be writing your press release. Now, this is often quite a tricky bit, and sometimes it's quite clear how to use AI to do this. You can go to, let's just say, something like ChatGPT and say, write a press release for me based on this subject. That's one way of doing it. Um, Obviously, within JournoLink, we've got a press release writer. This is a bit more advanced than using something like ChatGPT or any of the AI platforms. What it will do, it will act as a PR researcher and analyst and writer. So it's going to go out, it's going to get statistics, data, information, case studies, everything like that to support your story. Um, so you've got so far you've taken your idea and you're now putting it into a story. And I'd say the two options here is to use something like ChatGPT, put it together. You're going to have to make a lot of edits and fine tuning to get it right, or use something like JournoLink, which is going to craft it together in a best practice standard for PR writing. So now you've got your story. The next section is going to be who are you going to send this to? So JournoLink's platform, as standard, is a database of journalists. I think we've got around about 30,000, possibly more, journalists on our database. Once you've got your story, you now have to consider who you're going to send it out to. Now, you might be able to find some journalists around, by doing some internet searches, maybe even using AI. You could get a list of 5 to 10 journalists. This is really where something like JournoLink is going to come into play a bit more, um, because generally when you're sending a press release, if you use JournoLink, you're going to be sending that out to between 2 and 4 thousand journalists a time. In terms of which ones to send it out to, uh, thankfully, JournoLink does a lot of the work for you because it'll build your audience. It's going to analyze your business and your press release, and it's going to suggest what audience you can take that out to. It's going to filter those journalists from our database, to send it out to them. So you can always be sure that the right journalists are getting your press release. Then we come to analyzing your analyzing your results from it. So looking at things like, now, JournoLink's got analytics built in. So when you're sending a press release out, it's going to tell you who's opening it, who's reading it, who's engaging with it, things like that. You can also use AI to do things like, if you were to copy and paste your press release into an AI platform, you can ask for feedback on it so that you can learn for next time. You can ask for, you can ask it why this might not resonate with journalists, why audiences might not, why they might not read it. and get that feedback so that next month, when you're doing another press release, you're able to use those learnings and improve it every single month. Um, and yeah, then looking at ways to improve, the improvement side kind of touches uh, largely on the analytics side before. So now that you've got some ideas, you can do things like connect AI up with your press room. JournoLink gives you a press room which hosts all of your press releases. You can ask it to look across your press releases and get some feedback. You can test new styles, new structures, new angles, um, and the whole purpose of it is to increase the chance of getting coverage from your story. Now, I appreciate that this is quite a lot of information sort of, being put towards you. And so what I want to do is give you some real world examples of how businesses can use this five-step approach to get publicity. So let's just take example one. A small cafe launches a new menu. So their insights, how are they going to work out what to write about? Well, using JournoLink, they might get an email notification to say that there's a trending subject at the moment for them is winter comfort food. Um, so there we go. They've got an idea. They need to kind of do something with winter comfort food. So then they can get on to writing their story. Um, they can go into JournoLink and they can just put in their own words. We want to write an article about locally sourced winter warmers for rising food cost season. And JournoLink's going to create that press release, do all the research for them, do all the fact checking and validation, and then it's going to craft the story from them. So at this point, you'll now have your press release that's written up, ready to go. Um, Part three, reach. Yeah, they're going to want to target food and lifestyle journalists. So they can use JournoLink's audiences to do exactly that, target food and lifestyle journalists. You could even consider things in local areas. Let's just say you're based in Newcastle. You might want Newcastle-based media to be covering it as well. So it's going to help you to shape who this is going out to. Uh, Again, looking at the analysis of it, they can once the press release is sent, they're going to get a link to that press release, which is on the press room. Copying and pasting that into something like ChatGPT, Gemini, anything, and asking it for improvements will help you to learn about next month and learn about what you can do to improve next month. And then five, looking at analytics and tracking, looking at analytics to work out what the open rates are like and what the engagement rate is like to help you improve as well. Another angle here is to use things like Google Alerts to track media coverage. You might even be able to use something like Perplexity, which is an AI platform, to try and track media coverage as well. An example two, a software startup wants more visibility. So um, again, as with the first example, using JournoLink, they're going to get a notification to say, here's some things that we think you should be writing about this month. So JournoLink's going to give them an alert to say, small businesses are worried about productivity in 2026. So they decide, right, okay, let's write uh, a press release about how SMEs can automate 20 hours a week. So again, AI is going to generate that for them. It's going to write it up for them in a professional standard. It's going to look at their audience and select the best audience for them. So likely, tech journalists, business journalists, um, things like that. Um, Analysis, again, they can take their press room URL, put it into AI, and try and work out some improvements for next month. And then the improve section, again, looking at analytics and looking at what coverage they've been getting, what kind of responses that they've been getting to refine their approach. Um, so that those 5 steps they're something that businesses really should be doing. It's something that you'll be able to start actioning from today. Um, the purpose of doing it is that it just makes everything faster, smarter, and more consistent. Um, it allows you to do to get PR done for you, allows you to start building publicity. An important note is that PR is not a very fast win, but the more that you've got going out consistently, the stronger a brand and a wider an audience that you're getting. And this is all from trusted sources as well. This is coming from, people reading newspapers, people reading their favorite publications online, possibly even their favorite blogs, and finding your business through a source that they trust. Um, and JournoLink supports every step of that framework. We've worked really hard to build AI in to do as much of the PR as possible because it is a tricky subject to learn and to be motivated to do. And it's an expensive one to get outsourced help for. So we'd invite you to find out more about JournaLink, to give it a shot, to give it a try, use our AI platforms to generate your first press release. Our plans start from £59 a month, so easily and affordable for most businesses, and costs a fraction of what standard marketing and advertising platforms can cost.